दोस्तों, आज मैं आपको बताने जा रहा हूँ कि नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस ने अपने मरने की खबर, हवाई जहाज की दुर्घटना में मरने की खबर इसलिए फैलाई थी कि उन्हें जो अलाइड फोर्सेस थे, उनके जो जो उनको पीछा कर रहे थे और उनको जो वार क्राइम में उनको दंड देना चाह रहे थे, उससे बचने के लिए फैलाई थी। मैं आपको इसका एविडेंस दिखाता हूँ। देखिए, और ये उस प्लेन दुर्घटना में मरे ही नहीं थे, उस प्लेन में चढ़े भी नहीं थे। जिस दिन इस प्लेन की दुर्घटना हुई थी, उस समय वो दूसरे प्लेन से सिंगापुर जा रहे थे। देखें, क्या लिखता है ये? ये देखिए, चैप्टर 5 में डार्क सीक्रेट पॉलिटिक्स, इंट्रिग एंड प्रॉक्सी वॉर इन कश्मीर में चैप्टर 5 में लिखा है, सोवियत रशिया रिमेन्स अ क्रिटिकल थ्रेट एंड अपॉर्चुनिटी। द न्यू बोस कॉन्ड्रम, न्यू बोस कॉन्ड्रम मतलब बोस का नया नाटक या नई पहेली या जो भी आप समझें उस तरीके से देखें। While Stalin closure of the Comintern, Comintern मतलब कम्युनिस्ट इंटरनेशनल जो स्टालिन ने बनाया था इन 1943, जब 1943 में इसको बंद किया, took the heat of left sponsor agitation in India. His recognition of the Bose-led provisional Azad Hind Fauj government in November 1943 and the permission for it to open a consulate in the Soviet wartime capital of Murmansk caused a lot of unexpressed discomfort to the British. सोवियत रूस ने आजाद हिंद फौज को नवंबर 1943 में मान्यता दे दी थी। Stalin clearly intended to keep India on the back burner only for the duration of the war. Following Japanese Emperor Hirohito's radio broadcast on 15th August 1945 announcing Japan's intention to surrender, Bose had no option left but to flee to the Soviet Union as he was a war criminal wanted by allies. In one of his last messages to Nambiar, who was his man in Europe, had ordered the remnants of the Indian National Army in Europe, then a part of the Waffen SS, to join up with the unit of the Red Army advancing toward Berlin. They were later to be deployed as the vanguard of the force that would liberate India. Both messages from the Southeast Asia to Germany via Kriegsmarine Enigma machine at the Munson Group headquarters in Penang were intercepted by the Government Code and Cipher School at Bletchley Park in the UK. Colonel Hughes Choi of MI6 was appointed to head the outfit set up to exclusively trace and hunt down Bose. MI6 के कर्नल को जिम्मेदारी दी गई कि आप बोस को ढूंढो। Bose was a master of deception. He planned his death to throw the Allies off the trail to prevent any chance of the British pressurizing the Soviets to extradite him. When the Soviets were treaty bound to face trial of war crime, सोवियत की ब्रिटिश के साथ में समझौता हो गया था और बोस साहब को डर था कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि सोवियत रूस जो है मुझे वार क्रिमिनल के तरीके से ब्रिटिश को हैंड ओवर कर दे। On 17th August 1945, when Bose ostensibly took off from Saigon in a Mitsubishi Sally bomber for Turin, aka Da Nang, he was actually still in Saigon, spending the night at the opulent home of Tamil origin millionaire Leon Pravchandi, who was the president of the French Indochina chapter of the Indian Independence League, the civilian arm of the इंडियन नेशनल आर्मी। 17 अगस्त को वो सैगोन में ही थे जब उनको ये कहा गया कि 17 अगस्त को उनका प्लेन जो है वो ताइवान में गिर गया। On 18th August 1945, when Bose was supposed to have been flying towards Taipei from Torian, he was actually on another aircraft flying to Singapore. After landing in Singapore, Bose drove straight to Japanese Southern Army headquarters at Raffles College in the Bukit Timah district. From there, he drove straight to Keppel Harbor, where he boarded the UIT-25, a Kriegsmarine submarine flying the Japanese flag. The submarine was supposed to take Bose to the Soviet port of Vladivostok, but Bose apparently disembarked at Vladivostok on 30th August 1945. 18 अगस्त को सिंगापुर पहुंचे और वहां से उन्होंने एक सबमरीन में बैठ करके व्लादिवोस्तोक की यात्रा की। व्लादिवोस्तोक में वो 30 तारीख को डिसअपियर हो गए, 30 अगस्त को। आफ्टर transiting onto a Soviet trawler just outside the Soviet territorial water in the Sea of Japan at the spot where UIT-25 shot down a B-25 Michel USA Air Force Renaissance craft. He reached Vladivostok in this trawler. वो ट्रॉलर से व्लादिवोस्तोक पहुंचे। No one has bothered to ask why UIT-25 surfaced in the Sea of Japan and why the submarine engaged a low-flying American aircraft and why the submarine shot the aircraft down after all hostilities in the Pacific theater had ceased on 15th. किसी ने पूछा कि UIT-25 ने अमेरिका के एयरक्राफ्ट को क्यों गिराया जब 15 अगस्त 1945 को पैसिफिक पे सारी जितना भी लड़ाई है वो बंद हो गई थी। UIT-25 was operating under the Japanese flag from 9th May 1945. It took the Japanese color and a new name, I-504. The crew surrendered to the US Navy at Kobe on 2nd September. अब ये व्लादिवोस्तोक जब वापस आए होंगे तो 2 सितंबर को इन्होंने US Navy के सामने सरेंडर कर दिया। All the records are still classified with the US Navy. अभी तक वो classified record है। These included the logbook, the manifest, and the debriefing of the surrender crew and their nationalities. Furthermore, the complete debriefing record of Vice Admiral Paul Branker, the German naval attaché in Tokyo, also remain classified. Therefore, it is important to reiterate that the only logical and plausible reason for UIT-25 I-504 to have surfaced in the Sea of Japan just outside Russian territorial water was because it was transferring its cargo and sub-passengers to another vessel that would carry them to Vladivostok. This transfer was highly secret, and because the USA aircraft presumably took photos of it, the aircraft was shot down to obliterate all evidence of the secret transfer. Presumably, Bose was part of that transshipment process. The story has an interesting postscript. The finance minister of the provisional Azad Hind government, Colonel A.C. Chatterjee, and a few of his aides flew to Hanoi on 20th August 1945, where they took shelter with the Viet Minh under the command of Ho Chi Minh. Chatterjee was waiting to fly to Omsk to line up with Bose. It took quite some time, but by December 1945, it became clear that Chatterjee would be able to get an aircraft that would fly him and his men to Omsk, overflying territory controlled by Mao in the Chinese Civil War. Unfortunately for Chatterjee, Ho Chi Minh betrayed him and his men to the British MI6 officer Lieutenant Colonel A.G. Trevor Wilson, who sent to Hanoi to negotiate his arrest. Chatterjee and his party were arrested on 23rd December 1945 from their safe house in Hanoi, along with around $1 million worth of gold bar. Why was Chatterjee planning to fly to Omsk if he was not meeting up with Bose? Following Chatterjee's arrest on 23rd December 1945, he was flown to Singapore the next day. 2 days later, on 26 December 1945, Bose made his first post-war radio broadcast to the Intelligence Bureau of India. This was followed by a second broadcast on 1st January 1946 and the third in February 1946. In the second broadcast, Bose stated that India would get freedom within 2 hours, but not without violence. The details of the broadcast are available in a file number 87011, page 1692, PO1, that has been disclassified by the Indian government. The broadcasts were relayed on 31-meter band. Does the same file also refer to a cabinet meeting chaired by Prime Minister Attlee on 25th October 1945 that ostensibly discussed the options available on how to deal with Bose? अब देखते हैं. Why the Soviet launched Bose-led invasion plan was sidelined and modified. The jury is still on it out on this. Any invasion of India by land from the highland of Soviet Central China through the Gilgit Agency could only be feasible if India was still under British rule, not under Dominion status, and only if the Soviet Union was willing to face the possibility of counter-attack on Soviet assets in Xinjiang and Soviet Kazakhstan. The Soviets were in dilemma. Allowing its territory to be used to invade India was a lesser worry for the Soviet Union, as it was facing an acute existential crisis during those days. The Soviets were worried about the nuclear threat from the USA, against which it had no deterrence. In order to build up its deterrence, the Soviets had to accelerate the extraction of uranium ore in large quantities and also select a test site near the ore for nuclear explosion. The ore was mined in the Koktugay Valley in Kazakhstan. An aerial survey to locate additional deposit of uranium ore were undertaken over the Altai mountain in northern Xinjiang, the Tarim Basin, along the Caracas River in Akai-Sai-Chitin, and over Ili along the Soviet border. The KGB chief, Lavrent Beria, solved the problem by selecting Palatinsk as the test site for the proposed Soviet nuclear test. This effectively led to waste Bose's ambition to lead an invasion of India launched from Soviet territory. This effectively lay to waste Bose's ambitions. Though the Bose plan was shelved, Stalin's appetite for the Xinjiang and Akai-Chin increased. Akai-Chin was ultimately invaded by his proxy. These compulsion to develop a nuclear deterrent against the US nuclear monopoly necessitated military control over both Xinjiang and Akai-Chin and the erection of a wall of secrecy around this region as far as possible. A land invasion of India through the Pamir and the Karakoram would have all sort of repercussion and jeopardize Beria's well-thought-out plan. Consequently, Bose desired to free India from British rule through an armed invasion too had to wait, as it did not seem an alluring anyone. It is possible that a protest by Bose against this new Soviet stance resulted in him being sent off to Gulag until after Stalin's death and Beria's execution. Chitral poses a problem in connection with Bose. Chitral was the largest district in British North India's northwest frontier province. This area was the scene of Ivanov intrusion in 1891. It was separated from what was then Soviet Tajikistan by the narrow Wakhan corridor, which extended from northeastern Afghanistan to China. According to an Intelligence Bureau report of 1946, Nehru received a letter from Bose stating he was in the Soviet Union and that he wanted to come to India via Chitral. File number 223 INA. What made this letter all more intriguing was the fact that it surfaced soon after Bose's last radio broadcast in February 1946. The icing on the cake was the presence of Burhanuddin, the Prince of Chitral, in the background to both the broadcast and the letter. Bose's intended arrival in Chitral sent severe down the spine of the government of India. They did not know that Bose's 1946 plan was to enter India was possibly relegated to the back burner by Beria. The worry of British circle was that if Prince Baruddin was part of the vanguard of Bose's alleged invasion force, then such a bold move could jeopardize Bacon's key nuclear monitoring empire. Burhanuddin was a key member of the Indian National Army. He was captured in Burma on 3rd May 1945 and put on trial in a military court presided over by none other than the then Brigadier K.M. Cariappa, who became the first commander-in-chief of the Indian Army and first later on India's first field marshal. It is said that after the court sentenced the prisoner to 6 years of rigorous imprisonment for waging war against the King Emperor, Cariappa walked across the Burhanuddin and shook his hand. This was a move that raised many eyebrows. If this was the sentiment felt towards Burhanuddin by the senior most serving Indian origin officer, then how would the loyalty of the Chitral Scout be guaranteed? The Chitral Scout was a 1,200 strong force and the only possible defense against a Bose-led Soviet-backed invasion of Chitral. Bose link with Northwest frontier was not, therefore, a figment of imagination of the worried officials of the government of India. Bose himself planned attack on British forces from the tribal areas of Northwest frontier province. He stated in his memorandum of 9th April 1941 presented to the Nazis in Berlin soon after he arrived there that our agents are already working in the independence tribal territory lying between Afghanistan and India. This effort will have to be coordinated and attack on British military frontier will have to be planned on a large scale. File number L/P and J/12/217 Public Record Office, London. In fact, Bhagat Ram Talwar, Bose guide in a journey from Peshawar to Kabul, also ferried revolutionaries like Sodhi, Harminder Singh and Satya Ganguly from India in the same year for training in underground combat by Soviet GRU against agents in Afghanistan. The fear was that their varied sleepers would be collectively roused to undertake sabotage in advance of the Bose-led force. What certainly happened was that any lingering doubt that some minority factions of the British establishment may have had about persuading Jinnah and Nehru to stay together after India got a dominant status were erased forever once the General 75 Committee of the British Cabinet decided on the importance of Bacon's nuclear monitoring empire. It became clear that both the Gilgit Agency and the Northwest Frontier Province had to be sequestered from the body of India if the country was going to be led by Nehru instead of Patel. This decision had many repercussions, as we shall see. ये है तो बोस साहब 1945 में प्लेन दुर्घटना में नहीं मरे थे, वो जिंदा थे और वो नेहरू के साथ में लेटरबाजी भी कर रहे थे और सोवियत के साथ में मिलकर के ब्रिटिश अंपायर के ऊपर अटैक करने की प्लानिंग भी कर रहे थे। तो ये मैं आपको बताना चाह रहा था। ये गलत बात है कि बोस 16 अगस्त 1945 को मारे गए थे। बोस ने खुद इस चीज को प्लान किया था। तो ये मैंने आपको वीडियो बनाया था आपकी नॉलेज के लिए। आशा है आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा होगा। आप मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें, वीडियो को लाइक करें और शेयर करें और आगे आने वाली वीडियो के लिए बेल आइकन दबा दें, जिससे कि आपको आगे आने वाली वीडियो की जानकारी पहले से मिल जाए। जय हिंद, वंदे मातरम।